Check out Ross Perot.
Sending jobs overseas.
Look at
To
Clinton.
those of you in the audience who are business people, pretty simple. If you're paying $12, $13, $14 an hour for factory workers, and you can move your factory south of the border, pay $1 an hour for labor, have no health care, that's the most expensive single element in making a car, have no environmental controls, no pollution controls, and no retirement, and you don't care about anything but making money, there will be a giant sucking sound going south.
They called Ross Perot crazy. But
And
after
it
30
happened.
years, they call him right. Bubba was wrong. He signed NAFTA and the giant sucking
And
sound
Clinton
came
was
from
wrong.
the south. And then he signed the
And y'all
China deal,
hired
and the
and
giant
voted for
sucking
Clinton.
sound came from the east.
Mm.
There were a lot of sucking sounds in the 90s. And Chuck was fed up.
We are fed up, Mr. President. The Chinese should play by the rules once
Is
and
that
for
right,
all.
Schumer?
But how can we stand by
Do you forget that we had TV
as
then?
millions of American workers lose their jobs?
Wow.
As thousands of American companies can't compete fairly. No one seeks
That's,
political advantage. What we seek,
Clinton.
rather, is fairness. Fairness in trade.
The party that represented workers, the Democrats, immediately recognized the giant sucking sound was bad for workers, but good for donors. Wall Street got rich off the giant sucking sound, and so did Pelosi, Hillary, Kerry, Gore, all of them.
And every person that's
So they talked
angry
about
and
it to win
hateful
votes,
to
but
Donald
didn't
right
do
now
anything
because
about it,
Donald's not
and turned
sucking.
China into a monster, their monster.
I worked in a factory. Went to the factory in 1989. We made radial passenger tires for cars. I worked there with my dad, 8 of my uncles, and 12 of my cousins. I was a union steward there. That plant now sits in China because you can import small radial passenger tires pretty cheap because of
China
our
took it
failed
out.
trade policy and this Democrats' opinion.
Like China, who have chosen to retaliate and try to double down on their mistreatment of American workers, are making a mistake. President Trump has a spine of steel, and he will not break, and America will not break under his leadership. When America is punched, he punches back harder. That's why there will be 104%
China is
tariffs going into effect
very
on China
used to
tonight at midnight.
So when the
sucking it
Fox
from
race begins
America.
tonight, the battle begins. China will be hit with triple-digit
Now,
tariffs. The
it's a
export
tariff
menace
war.
should have never retaliated.
Good China.
Trump believes
That's it.
he has the cards and likes his chances.
Canada's, acting stupid, but
has maximum negotiating leverage right here, right now.
here you go.
We export 1/5 to them of what they export to us.
Bam.
So that is a losing hand for them.
China
export
had a
to
plan.
them, for them
Dump
to
cheap
export
goods
back to
into
us.
the rest of the
Yep.
world, use the money to build their military, and pass the U.S. as the world's
And now
top
their Navy
superpower.
is wow.
But if China can't dump cheap goods here,
Sorry.
and we're the world's biggest market,
Our Navy-
they have nowhere else to sell.
We don't.
They can't sell
We
to
don't
Europe.
have one.
They don't have the
How
consumer
many Navy
power.
ships we got?
And they can't sell to themselves because their birth rate's cratered. Xi Jinping lose face gracefully. A quick, violent death makes us collateral damage. So we have to lower the Chinese casket into the ground diplomatically. While Trump's taxing
The
Chinese
tips.
products, he's kicking them out of the hemisphere. Pistol Pete's down at the Panama Canal today, flexing the Monroe Doctrine.
Yep.
The United States of America will not allow
I already
communist
put this
China
one out there. Nope.
or
The
any other
Monroe
country to
Doctrine
threaten the canal's
says we
operation
have the right
or integrity. I want to be very
to
clear.
take military control.
China did not build this
We
canal.
don't want to.
China does not operate this canal. And China will not weaponize this canal.
Nope.
China bribed the buy. Now that Trump's engineered oil down to $60 a barrel, Putin's war machine's going to take a hit. Russia's influence in the Mideast is weaker than
That's
ever.
why we're not
Their
really
proxy
talking
in
about
Syria
Russia
got
right
picked
now.
off, and their other proxy, Iran, as we speak, is surrounded by 2 U.S. aircraft carriers, the USS Truman and the Vincent. Oh, and we have B-2 bombers waiting at Diego Garcia in the Indian Ocean. While Trump knock off their nuke program, we can bring Iranian oil back online and drive the energy prices down even lower.
Bam.
That'll hurt Putin, bring rates down, and take the edge off any inflation that the trade war triggers. And Europe knows where its bread's buttered. They can't afford their socialist welfare states without the American security blanket. And we're not going to give them that little blanket if they don't drop their tariffs. And if they kill their VAT tax and sprinkle in Greenland, we could have a deal. A world want on top. Us or China.
Apparently it has
Trump's
to be
logic
one or
is
the
that China
other.
doesn't have the cards, and they're bluffing. China wants to make a deal badly, but they don't know how to get it started. We're waiting for their call. It will happen.
That the era of economic American economic surrender is over. President Trump is no longer going to allow American workers and
Youngest
companies to be ripped off at the hands
ever,
of foolish trade practices
which is a better
that shipped
claim
away
than
millions of high-paying
first black
jobs and
lesbian.
hollowed out communities across the country.
Trump could go to China like Nixon did and rewire the world all over again.